What's up, guys? Welcome to a brand new YouTube video. It's your girl Nicole, and today I am reflecting on my entire bikini prep experience, and I'm going to discuss 6 of the major things that I think you should consider if you're interested in doing a bikini competition. First, I need to say I was trying to record this without my glasses on because you can see the lights reflecting off the lenses, but I literally cannot see my notes. So we're gonna deal with that. So I have been strength training for the past 6 years, and I did my first competition in October of 2023. I have a genuine love of bodybuilding. I just am so obsessed with becoming the strongest, healthiest, most confident version of myself. And after doing my own competition, I realized that competing just does not align with my overall values and goals in life. I am not at all trying to convince you to compete or not to. I just want to shine a light on some of the things that are not openly discussed in the bodybuilding space. Like, it's such a glamorized sport. You see all the women and men on stage all super tan, jacked, glammed up, and it looks so glamorous. But there's a lot of darkness that follows that is not openly talked about. And even if I had watched a video like this prior to competing, I still would have pursued it. Like, I wanted to have my own experience, and I encourage you to do the same. After all, I've only done one competition. I mean, that was enough market research for me, but I encourage you to just have your own experience. I just want to share my thoughts and give you a little bit more insight around everything. So let's not waste any time. First on my list is that you're getting sickly shredded. I was obviously aware that I was going to have to diet down aggressively to get stage lean, but I didn't know that it was going to be to the point where I was like truly unhealthy. Just for some context, it's been over a year since I've had my period, and I'm now working with a holistic practitioner to get it back. I'm not going to say that prep is 100% to blame for that. Prep just kind of illuminates whatever issues are going on internally. Dieting for a competition is very damaging to your body, and it takes a lot of work to get it back to being a safe space again. Right now, my internal state is not safe. When you're that lean, your body is trying to conserve energy in any way that it can because it's really not getting any energy from food and your output is so high. So you're thinking slower, you're talking slower, you're moving slower. I'm going to input a few clips of me talking when I'm like a few weeks out. Like, literally, it looks like half of my brain is turned off. And that is how you feel. It is a Tuesday. We are 11 weeks out. Currently, I am in much better spirits because I had been on very low carbs for about 3 weeks, and starting yesterday, I got a text on the way to the gym from my coach saying, let's bump carbs 70 today. So I got to stop and get a Rice Krispie treat pre-workout. Absolutely amazing. So I just finished a posing session, and I recorded the last video of me posing, and my entire head was cut off, so hopefully you can see it in this one. Honestly, I just have not been feeling not the best. I just been feeling super low energy. So we're 17 days out now, and my body, my legs are just so tired. Everything's just tired. So I'm off to train legs now. I'm cold. It's 71 degrees. I have this little flannel on. I am struggling, but I'm still getting through it, and it could still definitely be so much worse. You are useless to society. I would say anywhere from 4 weeks out and less. Second on the list is that it is expensive as fuck. I'm gonna hit on like the physical and like tangible things first, then we will go into the mental side of things, because that's like a whole different beast. But this is a very expensive sport. So just to add up some things, I actually don't want to know the total cost that I put into this because it might make me vomit. But so let's see, a quality coach, my coach, I paid $600 a month for my coach. And in my opinion, I think that it's very beneficial to work with your coach through a growing season before you start a prep. That way they know how your body responds to whatever protocols you give it. I couldn't imagine working with a complete stranger that doesn't know how my body responds to things to trust them to get me stage lean. So that's the first expense. The suit is very expensive. I was told like not to cheap out on the suit. I paid like $550 for my suit. Heels are like $100. And then like on show day, And then I got like posing sessions. So you pay like $50 for a posing session. You have to do a lot of those. I didn't know what I was doing, and I wasn't going to diet down, work this hard for this long, and then get on stage with some like whack ass posing. Like, I was paying to have somebody tell me what I needed to do because I didn't know. It doesn't come natural. Posing is not a natural thing by any means. But like actual show day is easily $1,000, much more than that. So your tan is like $100 or something. Hair and makeup, I paid to get that stuff done because I am not equipped in that. So you could probably save some money here, but like having the makeup to match my skin tone and doing all the glam, that's way out of my wheelhouse. So that was like $300. You have to get your nails done and your Brazilian wax. That was like $200. Actually like registering for the like NPC division or whatever, that I don't know how much it was. We'll just guess $100. I was in 3 classes. So I did the open, novice, and true novice. So that was like $345. I found the receipt. And then, if your show is not local, my show is in Florida. So flights, hotels, like it's very expensive. I knew this was going to be an expensive endeavor, but I didn't really know to what extent. So I just want to make that super clear for you. And you could absolutely, there's cheaper routes. Like I was just like, if I'm going to do it, I want to do it right. So I paid the money for it. This is probably, I guess, like the higher end, but this was my personal experience. Okay, so we talked about breaking the bank to break your internal health systems. Let's talk about body dysmorphia. Okay, so this is a term that's like openly thrown around in the bodybuilding space, but I didn't really understand the true definition until I saw my body stage lean. Once you see yourself at that level of leanness, you will literally never see yourself the same ever again. So like, while I wanted to put on body fat, any body fat that I put on, I felt super fat. Like, to be honest, I really identified with the term skinny fat. That's how I felt probably a week after my show and counting. And it's truly just such a mind fuck because you need to put body fat back on at a slow rate. So we'll talk about reversing in a little bit, but so you need to put the body fat back on. And at this point, you're fucking starving, okay? Like your body got used to eating the 1,200 calories. Now you're increasing calories and you have access to different foods. But at the same time, you don't want to get fat. Like you see the shreds and you're like, I want to keep those. So it's like, it's kind of like wanting to get married, like to have a husband, but you don't want to give up flirting and going on dates with new men. Like it's a fucking mind fuck, okay? I really struggled, and I'll be honest, I still am struggling to see my body in a positive light. And it's silly because I remember when I felt super unhealthy, super skinny, I remember hating the way I looked because I had no curves. I didn't look feminine. I looked like a little boy, like a box, but I had the veins popping, but my freaking pumps were insane. I looked like an alien. So you remember those things, and then you compare yourself now to what you used to look like in the pictures, and it's really difficult. All that to say, if you struggle with body image now, I would heavily consider this whole conversation before jumping into a prep because it really just like illuminates those body image issues 100%. So this brings me to my 4th point, which is tying your identity to prep. So when you're in the trenches of prep, it really consumes you. That is your top priority. How much you're, getting your food in, getting your training sessions in, recovering optimally. Like you're in the gym for about 4 hours a day. So this is everything. Along my prep journey, I was being fed so much external validation that it was honestly intoxicating. And I would consider myself to be a pretty secure individual. But when you constantly hear like, Nicole, you're so shredded. Oh my God, Nicole, you look crazy. You look great. You're so driven. You're so hardworking. I could never do that. It starts to like, you start to, feed on that. And it's really nice to hear those things. But what happens is you kind of start to create an identity around prep. And I mean, it makes sense because your success is based on what the scale says and how good you look. So like when I would see that I hit a new weigh-in, which is like 25, 30 pounds below my healthy weight, that was a success. Like that was a win. And like every time I would look in the mirror and I was smaller, that was a win. Like your success is based solely on how you look. And that's just the sport. That just is what it is. But I'm just saying that it has its mental repercussions for sure. So as you can imagine, once that's over, you feel kind of lost. Like everything that up until this point, everything you did, every conversation you had for the most part, everything was around prep, and then the stage is gone. So, and everyone, forgets then, like you don't look like a crazy shredded alien anymore. So you're not, talking about that. And it's like a a kid that like peaked in high school, like his high school glory days. And now he's 30 years old at the bar talking about, well, when I was in high school, I was being scouted by all these colleges. Like literally no one cares. That's in the past. That's kind of how it is now. But the difference is now you are stuck with the reversing part, which is honestly the hardest part of the entire experience. And you don't have the goal of the stage to look forward to anymore. You're kind of just like stuck with all of these consuming thoughts. And it's truly very hard to navigate. And my experience is a little bit different, a little bit unique. Because my dad passed away like right before I started dieting like aggressively. And I blocked all of that out. And like honestly, writing, when I was like brainstorming this, quitting was never even an option for me. Like I didn't even like consider quitting because I had been working towards this goal for a very long time. And so I just blocked that out, put my head down and just like kept working. And then after prep, after the competition was over, then I was faced with all of the emotions that come normally. And then also was actually able to start grieving my dad. And all of that was just like really hard to navigate. It was really hard to just like remember who the fuck Nicole Duis was, like outside of everything. The fifth point is that reverse dieting is really fucking hard, especially once your relationship with food is skewed. So I was told, oh, reverse dieting is the hardest part of prep. And my ego was like, I can handle it. No, no. Once the goal of the stage is gone, so you have no reason to be, eating crumbs anymore. And again, you're starving. You have access to all these foods that you weren't able to eat before when you were dieting. And you're just like, why do I have to slowly increase my calories? Why can't I just go back to eating normally? Well, because the body is really fucking smart and it adapted to eating 1,200 calories per day. It was really efficient at burning calories at 1,200 calories per day. So you can't just go from 1,200 calories to 2,000 calories per day and expect your body to just catch up magically, okay? That's how you put on a ton of body fat in a short period of time. And I'm gonna be honest, my body, I kind of did that. There was days when I like had episodes where I don't want to call it binging, but I suppose that's what you could categorize it as, where I just like could not control myself around food. I really just like lost control. And I was also going through the holidays without my dad for the first time. And also going through the holidays after not being able to eat anything fun for a long time. So I'll be honest, like my body composition where I'm at right now, I'm in like a health phase, so I can't train as hard as I want to, and I have to eat a little bit differently than I'm used to. But my physique is not what it should be. I know that it could be much better, and that's really just to say that I overate a lot, and I ate a lot of the things that I knew I shouldn't be eating, like the cookies and the brownies and the ice cream and all that. It's also really important to mention that you cut out a ton of foods when you're dieting. So now that you have access to those foods that are off limits, it's really hard to have a healthy relationship with incorporating those back into your diet because, again, you don't have the stage to hold you accountable. Like there's really no like end goal here. You're kind of just like getting back to being healthy again. I feel like I've been saying a lot of negative things, which I wanted to speak on the stuff that people don't really speak about. But just know that it's going to be a mental battle. Just like prepping for the stage, dieting, training hard when you have no freaking energy was a mental battle. Well, this is another mental battle. It's another hurdle. And it takes a lot of mental strength. But again, there's lessons to be taught through this experience, and there's a lot of lessons to be taught through prep. So I'm now 7 months post-show, and I will say that like the episodes have stopped. I no longer am out to eat thinking about, ooh, like what can I have when I go home? Like when I'm alone and I can, eat in my room. Like I'm not having those thoughts anymore, but those intrusive thoughts still pop up. They don't just magically disappear. It's just like working a muscle, like it's always, these things are going to keep popping up, and the more that you become aware of it and know how to shift your focus and shift your energy towards things that will benefit you instead of self-sabotaging and things of that nature, like it gets easier, but it takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of work, and it's not easy. And my final point is that bodybuilding is a subjective sport, and presentation is everything. So if you think about it, in the NFL and football game, the team that scores the most touchdowns wins. If you're a competitive swimmer, the swimmer with the fastest time, they win. It's all based on your performance. And obviously, intense training and sacrifice is required in order to get to that level. It's like that in every competitive sport, bodybuilding included. However, with bodybuilding, as a human, you're being judged by another human based on your presentation. And you're standing on stage amongst a bunch of other humans with completely different genetic makeup. So maybe you're standing next to someone that is just sauced out of their minds. Maybe you're standing next to someone who has a metabolism that's just off the freaking charts. Every single person that you're standing next to has worked their ass off to get to that stage. And the look that the judges are seeking every single year evolves. The sport is subjective, and at the end of the day, you could have a completely different set of eyes looking at the same girls on a stage, and the outcome could be completely different. And this is just my take. I also want to mention that it's not only just how you look, it's your entire presentation. So how you present your package, your body on stage. So posing and like stage presence is huge. So that's why I spent a ton of time working on my posing, recording myself, watching it back. What did I like? What did I not like? Why do my arms look like that? And it takes a lot of time just to feel comfortable in your routine. One thing that my posing coach recommended was that I find a video of a show on YouTube, choose a competitor's number and like listen to it, and then when they call out my name, walk out and pretend to be that girl on stage, and then have them run through, like, they have you turn around and all those things. And I practiced and practiced. And also I practiced in public at the gym, like where people could see me. And at first I was really embarrassed to put my heels on and be like, especially when I was like still not stage lean, like I didn't look ready for the stage at all. I did it because you're gonna have to be on stage in front of a whole crowd of people doing this, super nervous. So getting those reps in public was like super beneficial. I would really recommend doing that if you are looking to compete. So overall, this sport will push you way far out of your comfort zone. You're going to be eating crumbs and training as hard as you fucking can. You are going to be pushing yourself past the limit, past what you ever thought was possible for yourself. And you have to be fully committed. You're going to miss out on social events. You're going to miss out on doing fun things because you have to do your cardio. Your life is literally dedicated to this one goal. And in contrast to other sports, to team sports, there is nobody else to blame for your results aside from you. Nobody else can go to the gym for you. Nobody else can push for those extra few reps for you. Everything that you have to show for this entire experience, you earned it. And that is empowering as fuck. Like, honestly, it's like nobody else is to blame. Nobody else is to thank for what I've done, because I did it all on my own. And that is very empowering. And prep, while there are so many negative things attached to it, just from a health perspective, that's really why I'm like talking that shit, because it's just like my main goal is like to be the healthiest, happiest, most confident version of myself. And like, I just feel like I am working so hard to repair everything that I broke down and all the damage that I did to my body in this experience. But you have to dig deep to get through a lot of the days of the end of prep, for sure. And it's not for the weak, and not just anybody can do this. Not just anybody can commit to getting sickly shredded and pushing themselves to the limit to get on stage. So I hope that this kind of offered some different perspective instead of just seeing like your favorite influencer on stage and everything's all sunshine and rainbows. It's not. But it's also not all bad. My personal opinion on prep, I would never do a competition again. I love training to get strong. I love having that balance in life, being able to go out to eat. And personally, I don't enjoy feeling sickly, feeling like a freaking zombie, and like thinking about the task of like taking the garbage out is like debilitating. Like that just isn't it for me. But if you are excited, you're like, I want to do a prep, I want to compete, freaking do it. And when you do it, go all in. So I know I hit on a lot of the negatives of bikini competitions, but there are a lot of positives as well. And I encourage you to find out for yourself, but just take it from me. I'm 7 months out and I'm still healing my relationship with food. I am healing my relationship with my body and myself. And I'm also healing my hormones. But I believe everything happens for a reason, and I was meant to go through that experience and have this experience now to work through. And what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, and more money and a positive attitude can fix any freaking problem. That's what I hear, at least. So if you're new here, thank you so much for watching. Even if you're not new here, thank you for watching. I do not take your time and attention lightly. It means so much to me that you have taken the time to watch this video. But if you are new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button and also like this video. I heard it's good for the algorithm, helps my channel grow. So I appreciate every single one of you, and I hope you have a lovely day. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.